Hi everyone, this is Bethany, your school OT. What I'm hoping to do with these videos is to walk you through some of these handouts of positions that you can use with your child at home to help them develop increased body awareness and increased strength, which will hopefully carry over to increased coordination. So, because I don't have a child at home to use as a demo, and because I think it would be very hard to try to explain some of these things without showing you, I have created my own OT practice dummy, and we'll see how this goes for me to show you some of these things using my practice dummy. I looked and I looked for something online. Oh, a giant stuffed animal, a life-size doll. I could not find anything that I thought would work, and so we've got this awkward thing. The first position that I'm going to show you is sidelying. Sidelying is great because it gives a lot of input to the side that the child is lying on, and then it also encourages them to use the side that is free up in the air. So this is good for kids who tend to use one side. It can help encourage them to use the other side as well. And it's good because it helps promote reaching across the midline. So if your child tends to reach for something on the right side with the right hand, something on the left side with the left hand, putting them lying down on their side can help them reach from their top arm over to the ground, promoting that crossing midline. So a great place to practice sidelying is against the side of a sofa. I'm going to go ahead and show you how I would relax this child down on their side. You want to pay attention to, oh, sorry, my foot's in the way there, the position of their shoulder that they're lying on. You want to make sure that it's a comfortable position. So something that you'll see me do if you ever see me work with your children is I myself will sometimes get in the position to see what is it like when I'm in that position. So if I lay down on my side, you might think, okay, it might be a little uncomfortable to have all of your weight on your shoulder, but really that's how most of us lie when we are lying on our side. If you see that the child's arm is tucked back, or if it's in like, I don't know, really, there's not too many awkward positions, but just check to make sure that it's in alignment with their top shoulder. So if it's tucked too far under, or if it's kind of jolted up to their ear, that might not be comfortable. Another thing to consider is positioning the head so that it's supported. It's okay if the head is leaning down, but it's a little bit easier on the neck if you have some support for the neck. Something that's good to do is roll up a towel for two reasons. If your child tends to have a little bit of extra saliva, the towel is good because then you don't have to worry about cleaning that up. But it's also good because you can make it whatever shape you would like so that it really supports under the child's neck. So I would lift up the child's head, put the towel underneath on their neck, maybe a little bit extra here to support their head. And that way they have the support at their neck. They have something to clean up any excess saliva that they might have, and then they have the support for their head. Something that I did not think about for this video is having an exciting, interesting toy for your child to play with. In any of these positions, we'll get more interaction with the child if we have something interesting for them to do while they're in this position. So this hand might, depending on how it's positioned, how it's tucked, it might be able to reach and engage, but what we really want to do is promote using the top hand. Because like I said earlier, if something's on the floor here, I really didn't think about bringing the toy. But if something's on the floor here and the child has to reach over with this hand, then you see how the arm is coming across the child's midline. And that's a really good skill to start building. If you put your child in this position and you see they tend to roll forward, then what you might want to do is have another blanket or another towel. I'm going to roll this one up and then just lay it in front of the child kind of tuck it like a little wedge there. And then that will keep them nice and secure up on their side rather than leaning forward. Another thing that you can do to prevent your child from leaning forward is kind of put a little bend in their leg here, and then their knee will help them from leaning forward. You might do this and find, oh, with my child in particular, that makes them move more forward. You could try the bottom leg and see if I bring up their bottom knee, does that kind of provide more of a kickstand for them? So feel free to try different variations of this position based on what works best for your child, how they feel more comfortable. The longer they stay in this position, the more input they're going to get to that bottom side, the more likely they're going to be to use their top arm to reach. So you want to find something that really is comfortable for your child, because if they're not comfortable, then they're not going to be engaged with the toy. They're just going to be thinking about, how can I wiggle my way out of this position, which could be good too, because that's another strength building activity, is wiggle your way out of sidelying. But for the purposes of participating in sidelying, we want it to be a really comfortable position for the child to be in, or else they won't stay in it for long. So I just ran to grab a ball. This one is textured, which I really like because then it provides your child some extra input. If they touch just a flat, shiny plastic ball, that's not giving a lot of input to their nervous system, to their brain, about where that ball is located, where their hand is located. Textured balls are really great because they give more feedback to the child's body. I also grabbed what isn't actually a toy, but I wanted to look for something that had some auditory feedback. So this puppy winter jacket of mine, if I run my hand over it, you can hear that sound that it makes. So that would give some more feedback to the child too. I also like this because it's a bigger target. If the child is reaching for something small and they move their hand not exactly to the right position, then they won't have a successful experience. But with this great big puppy jacket, if they move their hand and then they touch any part of the jacket, they're feeling that puppy texture, they get that auditory feedback. So either of these things would be great for your child to reach to. Just think about increasing the feedback when they're reaching. So if I were to have my child laying against the sofa like this, they would probably start with their arm up on their side. And I always wait longer than I think I should, because sometimes it takes the child a little bit of time to understand what it is that I'm asking of them, and then to recruit the right muscles to engage in that activity. So actually, first, what I do before I wait for the child is I give them a demonstration of what it is that I'm asking them to do. So I would probably have to hold the child up if I didn't have a blanket, but I would reach their arm out and show them, what is that? You hear that? Squeak, squeak, squeak. And then put their arm back. And this is where I would wait. After I show them, I would see, do they respond? Do they reach out? If after I wait, probably 10 seconds is a good rule of thumb. And 10 seconds seems like it's fast, but if you actually count, 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000. So you might see your child move their arm a little bit. You might not see any movement, but after you wait, go ahead and give them a little bit of a cue. The muscles that bring your arm forward are in your chest, and then also the extensor muscles in your elbow. So I might rub the child's chest to see if that helps them to bring their arm forward. If their arm is bent a little bit, I might rub behind the arm here to stimulate the triceps to extend. And then if they really aren't showing any interest or any movement, I would give them another hand over hand to bring their arm up. So start by providing just a little bit of a cue after you do that initial demonstration, And then if they need more help, that's fine. But go ahead and just give that little bit of a pause to see what they're able to do on their own. Thank you, everybody. I hope you enjoy this activity. Feel free to shoot me an email. I think a lot of the classes are on the Remind app now. Don't hesitate to get a hold of me if you have any questions between this week's Sidelying video and then next week's activity. Thank you. Have a good one.